Hey everyone, welcome to CryptoData. I'm going to give it a couple minutes, let some people get in here, and then we're going to talk about the recent Bitcoin rise. Hey, what's going on, my official? Hey, what's going on, Genius Unleashed? Good to have you here. Romel, what's going on? Good to have you. I still can't believe this Bitcoin rise. I mean, this thing came out of nowhere. So I was just looking at all my charts and everything, and then I just decided to look at this, and hey, we're seeing Bitcoin rise right now. So yes, my official, you are a moderator. So, people that really support the channel and really engage in the chat and stuff and have really positive attitude, I'll give them moderator status just because I really like to support everyone that supports me. So, we keep this channel growing and just grow this crypto family in general. So, I always think it's great to support all the positivity and spread it around. So, yeah, it's definitely, more moderators, the better. That's what I say. What's going on, Kurt? It is late. Right now it's about 12:35 at night. So it's definitely late right now. What's going on, Boyles? Thoughts on WTC? So I think that's pretty sure that's Walton Chain, but let me just double check. Yeah, Walton Chain. So actually, I don't have too much. I haven't gone over Walton Chain too much, but I do know there's been a lot of positivity surrounding it. It's been a coin a lot of people have been talking about. If they had any positive announcements recently, I'm not sure, but I do know that a lot of people are bullish on this coin. So for what that's worth, from what I know. So we got 9 people in here, so let's go ahead and start this live stream. So Bitcoin is risen so far up to $12,448. So literally in the past 2.5 hours, it's gone from 11,700 all the way to a high of over 12,700. And then right now it's consolidating a little bit. So that's a huge rise. For anyone monitoring Bitcoin and stuff these past couple of days, this is a large percentage, and we do have the volume to support it here. This volume has been a lot higher than we've recently had. So that's really good. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, what's the reason for this rise, and exactly, what's going on here. So a couple reasons that I'm thinking we've had this rise. I know this guy here, Bitfinex, he's real popular on Twitter. He basically publishes like a lot of different news articles and really pretty much goes over, a lot of the latest things that maybe a lot of people don't know about. And recently there was $200 million worth of Tether that was printed. And usually whenever Tether is printed like this, we'll see a spike in Bitcoin. So I'm sure that those two things are correlated to a point. I think as that new money starts pumping in here, that it creates kind of that FOMO effect and more people start getting into Bitcoin. So that's definitely a contributing factor, as well as this article here on South Korea. So this was published yesterday at 1 o'clock. And basically what this says is South Korea say it's nearly impossible to close exchanges, says South Korea regulators. So what they're saying here is, so this is contrary to multiple fear-mongering reports on mainstream news sites, including Reuters, Bloomberg, and CNBC, South Korea will not close crypto exchanges. And then it says here, the chairman of the South Korean Fair Trade Commission, Kim Sang-jo, closing exchanges is impossible in reality. It was reported earlier today that he said this in CBS radio interview. So basically what, again, not to beat a dead horse, but for South Korea, basically all they want to do is regulate exchanges and then crack down on exchanges that are, contributing in illegal activity. So that's what it says here. And see, they just want to crack down on illegal activity. but closing South Korean exchanges is an unrealistic possibility. So again, that's not going to be for a while, even if they do it. But with so much stuff going on in the positivity and the petitions that everyone signed, I believe there's over 200,000 petitions that was signed. So the government has to look at it for not banning exchanges. So all this positive news going around, I think that definitely contributed. And just the turnaround that we've had so far with everyone's mindset regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. Now, again, you saw that we did go up here to this $12,700 level. So if any of y'all watch, if any of y'all used to watch Crypto News or watch Wyckoff on Crypto, Todd's channel, that he's really good technical analysis guy, and basically he was saying 12,700 is the resistance level. If we can break above that, then we're looking really bullish. And it's amazing that that was literally pretty much the point where we hit that resistance. So there's a lot of resistance at 12,700, and if we can break this, then I do think that we can confirm the reversal and we are in a bullish pattern. But until then, we're kind of in this weird limbo phase where we haven't completely broken out, and we're still seeing if we're going to break down here. So it's definitely something to keep in mind, when looking at this chart. But hopefully we'll keep up these levels. We can see here the RSI is showing overbought. I mean, pretty much at this peak here, 12,700, that's when it was at the very top. And then it had a reversal, so that's really no surprise there. How much reversal we're going to have, it's anyone's guess. Hopefully we'll just start consolidating over here, and then we'll hit another bounce, try to retest this 12,700, and then break above that to have a confirmed reversal trend. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. As well as, these MACD indicators here, they are at the top. So usually that indicates, there's a little bit more room for it to retrace a little bit. But again, we'll keep an eye on this and see exactly how much selling will go on. So far, the selling volume is less than half of what this previous buying volume was. So hopefully this stays that way, and we just kind of consolidate at this level. And Sky City says, dope live chat with a channel that actually has some great material. Hey, Sky City, good to have you, man. And here, let me make you a moderator. Really appreciate the support, and you're definitely engaging in my last live chat. So definitely good to have familiar faces here. Looks like we got 15 people watching, so it's a good live stream. And yeah, this is one I figured I'd just start a live stream right now because yeah, this is a move pretty much. I don't know if anyone saw this coming just out of nowhere. So again, I had to get on and at least talk about it. So appreciate that, man. Glad you enjoy my channel, and I try to bring out the best content, just quality content. Not really biased one way or the other. Just try to keep it real and support everyone that supports me. So we're growing as a crypto family. So let's keep spreading that positivity. But with that, let's go ahead and look at the individual prices. So right now we have a market cap of 612 billion, and that's good. I know we were in the 500 billions for a while, and then we just broke 600 billion, I want to say yesterday, and now we're at 612 billion. So that's definitely good news. We can see Bitcoin right now 12,600. We have Ethereum showing some promise. It's keeping up with it, $1,119. We have Ripple at $1.59, so it's not as strong as it was the previous couple of days. So hopefully it gains some legs and keeps going as well. Bitcoin Cash up 5%, $1,892. We have Cardano up 8%. Litecoin at 204. And then looking at Neo's doing pretty good, but it seems around that $150 range. There's some resistance, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then again, I know Ethereum Classic, a lot of people like that one. That's $33.58. And then scrolling down, VeChain. I know there's some rumors with them pairing with some big companies, and I think they had a partnership. Some people were saying they deleted their tweet. I'm not sure if they did or not. But they're up 20%, $6.81. So they're climbing up. And then, as you know, Dragon Chain, they're at $3.01, kind of consolidating. Hasn't been moving too much there. And also Z Classic, another one everyone likes. That's $161, up 15%. So they actually released a updated roadmap on their Twitter. And you can check that out. And they pretty much outline, everything they're doing right now, testing the wallet. They're going to test the Bitcoin private fork and then you know, after they test it and everything, then release it. So they should announce a hard fork date. It looks like probably by the end of January. So don't quote me on that, but that's what it seems like. And then scrolling down, I know Aeon, people were big on that one for a while. That's 571, up 9%. And then let's see, and Substratum, that's $1.44. And yeah, that's about it. And then Syndicator, this was a Palm Beach pick a couple days ago. It's the 20 cents. They had a buy up to of 30 cents. So that's one I kind of been looking at, but I'm not buying any. And Mr. Ian Julian, hi ho, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. Boyle says, do you have any upcoming ICOs you would recommend? So for ICOs recommending, as you may or may not know, I recently released a video about Legolas, that exchange, and what I did find out for that exchange is they are not supporting US customers, so they're supporting everyone outside of the United States. So if you didn't get into round 0 or round 1, their round 2 ICO is starting on February 1st. So you can go to my video I literally just published probably an hour ago, and then check that video out. That's what I'm bullish on. Storecoin, I'm bullish on that one. They're going to have their 3rd token sale, I believe, probably in the next month or 2. And then I know Nucleus and WAN Chain. Those are 2 big ICOs I'm bullish on. And then there was another one called, I think, Medical Chain, if I can remember right. And then the recent Dragon Chain ICO, Look Lateral, and the Dragon Chain ICO Life ID, which should happen end of January. So check those out, and I'll actually let me go ahead and type these in the chat so y'all can record it. So Nucleus, WAN Chain. Let's see, let me put them all here. Let's see, let me almost done here. Okay. So those are some of the ones I'm looking at, and yeah. And then if I think of any others, I'll definitely type them out there. But I know those are getting a lot of hype, as well as there's a couple more, but I can't think of them right now. Sky City says, can someone explain to me how, if Tether is pegged to dollar, how is it that during the last correction it was $1.04? Maybe I'm missing something, but that makes no sense to me. So that's a good question, Sky City. I'm thinking because they do try to peg it to $1, but of course with anything there's always volatility. So I'm just assuming maybe because of the volume, it's hard to keep it directly at $1. Unfortunately though, I don't know the specifics of it, so that's something I was wondering as well. So I'll have to do some research on that and find out, and then get back to you. Isam says, what do you think of titanium? Titanium, I'm not too familiar with. I want to say, I don't know if that Trayvon guy made a video about he made a video about that ICO or a different one, but I'm not too familiar with titanium, so I'll have to look at that one as well, and I'll get back to you on that. And looking at a couple other news articles I was looking at, so this article here that was published just a couple hours ago. 2 hours ago, actually, it talks about price analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, IOTA, Litecoin, NIM, and Cardano. So that's pretty good analysis here, and I thought it was something to look at to give y'all an idea of where coins are going to go towards the future. So basically, here they talk about the bulls attempting a reversal, which is likely to carry the cryptocurrency to the neckline of the Head and Shoulders pattern at 13,202. So as far as charting goes, what he's talking about the neckline is this is a Head and Shoulders pattern. And whenever you have a Head and Shoulders pattern, that's usually bearish, meaning the coin is going to go, to the downside. And then, so you see the shoulder, left shoulder is right here, the head is right here, and then the right shoulder is right here. So you can also, if it's a bigger one, shoulder, head, and then shoulder out here. But basically, if you have a trend reversal and you break this neckline here, so this previous neckline was about $13,302. If you break that neckline, then you do get out of that Head and Shoulders pattern. Now, the previous $12,700 level I was talking about right here, That was from previous resistance that it's had, so it's not necessarily part of the head and shoulders pattern, but it is one of the large resistance points that it was having. So kind of as it pressed the 12,007 and it keeps going above 13,000, then that would definitely be bullish for Bitcoin. And then it says, so basically here, if bulls succeed in holding the support zone, it will lead to the start of a new uptrend. So again, we can see this uptrend that we're having right now, and it's good. It's risen a little bit, 12,448, and then and so I thought that was some good analysis for Bitcoin, and kind of gave you a snapshot view of where we're going there. Let's see. Kurt says Titanium ICO is closed. I tried to get in. So Kurt, that's good to know. Appreciate that. So and then looking at Ethereum here, they go over their expected support zone is between 940 and so that's kind of what we're looking at for Ethereum. And it says for the past 3 days, Ethereum pair is struggling to cross above 1,097. If the price breaks out of the 1,100 levels, we expect to move to 1,174 and 1,284. As a stop loss is 930, which doesn't offer good risk reward ratio. We're not suggesting to trade on it. So basically, it's looking for that $1,100 level. So we can see here, Ethereum is past that $1,100 level. So we're looking, close to 1,200 and then close to 1,300 after that. So again, it's something to keep in mind. And it looks like right now, we'll refresh the page again. But it looks like right now, a lot of these coins are following Bitcoin, which is great. As you know, when Bitcoin rises, usually a lot of altcoins fall. But it's great to see that, even though Bitcoin did have this crazy, spike right here, altcoins are still keeping up with it. So it's definitely something good to mention, something that I noticed there. And then Bitcoin Cash, I know a lot of people have mixed reviews about this. I don't really like it, but everyone, is entitled to their own opinion. Basically, the $1,733 level is, big support for it. And it says, the current increase is likely to face resistance at 2,072. So, again, if it breaks that, which is right now, it's at 1885, 2032 is its resistance level that it's looking at after that. And then XRP, I know this is one, some people have been on it, had a crazy rise the past couple of days, but basically it's talking about the 20-day moving average. And if it can break that, then we're looking at a move to $2.20. So it looks like, from this graph, the 20-day moving average is at about $1 and looks like 65 or $1.70. So if it can pass that, then again, we could be looking at this, 220 level. So that's something to keep in mind for XRP. And then it just talks about IOTA, Litecoin. Again, if Litecoin breaks out of $205, a move up to 225 is likely. And, currently it's at 203. So again, looking at that 205 level for Litecoin. And then it talks about NIM. And it says the price moves above the downtrend line and increase to $1.45 can't be ruled out. So again, it looks like this $1.09 level is probably the resistance here, or about looking at about $1.20. So if it passes that, then it could rise to $1.45 possibly as its next resistance line. And then for Cardano, some people are holding this. Basically for here, it says it's struggling to rally above, 0.00006, and then once it breaks out, it may move up to 07 or 08. So that's something to keep in mind for Cardano. Right now it's at 69 cents, and we'll definitely see if that can break its previous resistance. Let's see. Do you think Tron will break? So I know Tron had a huge rally. It was when it was at 5.5 cents, and then it rallied up to almost 10 cents. And right now it seems like it's been consolidating around that 8.5 cent level. I haven't paid too much attention to Tron. I mean, I know they had a lot of, flack for their white paper. I know they, forged it or took some parts of it from other ICO's white paper. But, a lot of people do like Tron. And, I mean, since it's at these low levels, I don't see why we couldn't see it break above 10 cents again. And then, go up to that mid 15 cent level. So, there was a lot of support around 5.5 cents. And I'm sure a lot of those people are, holding. So, yeah, possibly if we see these, altcoins keep rising like they are with Bitcoin, we definitely could see Tron have another rise. It's just, if buyers want to hold it again and take that risk, since it did drop so far from its high of around 27 cents. Let's see. Kurt said, I got into Chris's coin, and then my referral code is this. Also a big ETN fan. So ETN, Electronium. Yeah, a lot of people are bullish on Electronium. Today it went up 30%. You know, I'm not in it personally, but I do know a lot of people are talking about this. I would definitely check if they have some upcoming news, partnerships, or anything, because it seems like it does have some good support from the community. So definitely a coin to keep an eye on. It's already ranked 42. So, you know, I mean, it's definitely moving up in the ranks. And then let me see what else. Also, something else that was I want to talk about this rise in Bitcoin here. So someone was talking about I know you remember Bitcoin, you know, released futures on the CBOE and the CME, and that futures trading is not 24/7. So I believe it does close on the weekends and opens, I think, Sunday at 5 p.m. if I remember correctly. But right now, if Bitcoin keeps rising, then a lot of those people who, you know, maybe are short the futures are going to have to close those short positions because they are going to get stopped out, you know, and that could cause some more liquidity in the market and possibly some more buying. So keep that in mind, because I know, you know, there is one advantage. If Bitcoin does rise on the weekends, and all those short positions, we'll have to close them. So that's definitely something to keep in mind going forward with trading those futures versus trading Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, is they are closed on the weekends. So definitely some positive news there if we do see Bitcoin keep rising for the next couple days. Let's see. And then I'm trying to think what else. If y'all have any other questions, let me know. Just kind of wanted to spur the moment, make this video, and just, you know, I still can't believe we had this rise. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be talking about this tomorrow, and I mean, it's great to see, you know, refresh it again. Great to see, you know, all these coins are keeping up with Bitcoin. So just there's, you know, a lot of seems like there's a lot more positive news that's starting to come out. You know, there's a lot of FUD going on, and a lot of people were scared about, you know, cryptocurrencies and stuff. And my biggest advice for that is just, I mean, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything at all. You know, just hold your coins and, you know, just hold strong, because truth of the matter is, I mean, you have, you know, Japan, who's already fully integrated, you know, cryptocurrencies into their space. I think over 500,000 stores have an ATM, Bitcoin ATM. And then you have Russia, who I believe they're going to legalize cryptocurrencies, or at least make their own. You have, you know, a lot of other countries that are looking at cryptocurrencies, and I know that for China, I believe, I want to say, actually, no, South Korea, I think OKCoin and Huobi, we're actually going to open up some exchanges in South Korea. And then also China, if they were going to move those Bitcoin miners, like if they did ban, you know, mining over there, then I know a lot of those people were already looking at like Canada, Russia, and a couple other places to move their operations. So, you know, there's always something, everyone always has a plan B, you know, just in case some country decides to ban cryptocurrencies or whatever. There's always, you know, people that are always have another plan, and they're already setting up, you know, those, basically those other, you know, mining operations elsewhere. So definitely something to keep in mind, as well as, you know, just, I mean, we did have a parabolic rise the past, you know, last month. December was crazy, and, you know, there had to be some kind of retracement. So I believe this was just shaking out the long hands to get more of the long holders into cryptocurrency. So, I mean, we just had a lot of new investors coming in, and it's good to see that, you know, now kind of everyone knows the name of the game, and they shook out all the new investors basically. And now, you know, everyone holding is kind of, you know, holding for the long term, or at least more than a day. And that's what I believe this shakeout was for. I believe one, you know, a lot of things that contributed to it. One, you know, BitConnect shutting down its lending platform, so they kind of everyone dumped their Bitcoin, sold it, and then we also had you know, South Korea FUD and stuff, and then we had the Bitcoin futures. So again, you know, this huge downfall here, I mean, this wasn't just one action; it was a combination. and that's what caused us to fall as far as we did. So I believe if we didn't have those, like that perfect storm, so to speak, we probably would have fallen to about 12,500 or so, kind of where we're at now. So that's just something to keep in mind for the future. You know, it would just happened that all those things happened at once. So I don't think it was as negative as everyone says. It was just a combination of stuff. And then Isom says PAC, P-A-C. So let me look at that. PAC coin. So PAC coin I have never heard about. Usually with like these small coins, I do not like to get in them. It's ranked 99, which is crazy. But coins that have, you know, over 1 billion supply, I like to stay out of, because it almost limits the growth of them, unless there's, you know, mass adoption of it. Kind of like Ripple, IOTA, EOS, a couple of those, you know, that have nearly more than 1 billion supply. Unless there's, you know, a lot of hype around it, then I like to stay away from them. I like the sweet spot I like to stay in is about 100 million. You know, that's really good. And if you get less than 100 million, then that's even better. So that's kind of the supply ranges that I like to stay in, just for future reference. Marcos, hey Marcos, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. And then Kurt says BTC conference last 2 days. Yes, Kurt, I'm glad you mentioned that. So in one of my other videos, I went over the Bitcoin conference, and I'll pull it up right now so we can check that out. And it was the North American Bitcoin conference that was held in Miami. So you've probably seen a lot of the Twitter people who went there. I know a lot of people I follow. You have CryptoData, Bitcoin Birch, Peripheral. You have Donnie Crypto, and then Crypto Says, and I believe there's one more. Let me think. Can't think of the other couple of people, but there were a lot of people that went there, a lot of popular people, and they were tweeting about it and everything. And I believe what this conference did, it was basically like a lot of ICO people came here. You know, I think Overstock's CEO, he was the keynote speaker. And then you have, I mean, here I can actually go right here so you can see it. But you had like a lot, yeah, Overstock CEO. You had a lot of these big people who came to this conference, and I believe this was just like a mass, pretty much like mass communication for everyone. So you had all this positive news, people talking about blockchain, talking about how much advantages it has. Because really, like if you look at the media just spreads FUD, and it spreads fear, and you know, it doesn't take to account the whole other half of cryptocurrencies, like all these people and what they're doing in the background. So I mean, you had all these people telling you, you know, all the developments they're having, the partnerships they're getting. And all this positive news kind of spread like wildfire. So I definitely think, Kurt, that this was, you know, a big contribution to this rise that we had. I mean, this bounce that we had here, you know, at this $9,000 level. I definitely think that was a contribution that we saw from here. So you know, more positive news, the better. And really, I mean, you know, any coverage is good coverage. So I think that it definitely helped, and you know. And I definitely see that taking us forward, you know, more people knowing about it, and just kind of get more people invested into it. So let's see. So let's see. David says 100 trillion. So I'm not sure what that's referring to. If you're referring to the circulating supply, yeah, any coin that has 100 trillion is definitely way too much there. So just a little bit. And then Sky City says, anyone here going to in Acapulco next month? I'm not going there, but of course, if anyone in the chat's going, definitely, you know, talk about it. And then Esom says, WAN Chain, what do you think? So WAN Chain is an ICO I am super bullish on. You know, WAN Chain is getting really hyped, and definitely look for that ICO when it comes out, because a lot of people are going to be buying it. They already had their pre-sale. I think it was 3 months ago, but when they do have their public ICO, I'm definitely getting in on that. I'm not sure if it's available to U.S. investors, but if it's not, then I'll get it when it hits the exchange, because I believe it's definitely something to keep an eye on. So let's see. David says, dude, I don't understand why people are still following Bitcoin. Can you give me some reasons why this whole Lightning Network doesn't make sense to me? So, David, what Lightning Network is, basically it's a way for Bitcoin to handle more transactions. Because as you know, Bitcoin right now, the transaction fee is like super high for it. So, and that's because so many people are getting into cryptocurrencies and like buying, selling, sending Bitcoin that's backing up the logs. And as you know, that's why Bitcoin takes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours or more to send Bitcoin or to buy, or, just to send it across, because it's only doing like one transaction per person. But what the Lightning Network does, basically has like a pool. So it's going to pool, for example, let's just say 100 transactions into like one piece. And then it's going to send it. So like those 100 transactions are going to get treated like one transaction is right now. So they're going to pull everything together and be able to condense that so that it drastically reduces the transaction times for one, and then just the volume and pretty much the bottleneck that's going on right now. So that's a huge thing that's going on. And I know Coinbase was actually talking about working on that and implementing SegWit and everything. So, hopefully that'll come sooner than later. And as far as why everyone's always working or following Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's like the face of cryptocurrencies right now. Everyone's looking at it, everyone's following it. And when you think of, it was created in 2009, and it's like the face of, what cryptocurrencies are. So, while maybe it's not the best coin, right now it's seen one as like a store of value, such as gold. But again, people are still trying to make it, worthy of like payments and stuff. So, if anything, people are just investing in it to, long-term investing. So I think it's always going to be the face of cryptocurrencies unless, some other coin just overtakes it completely. But I think it's good because, anyone that hears Bitcoin, they immediately, I would say right now, probably 50%, if not more, people have heard about Bitcoin now. It's starting to get more mainstream, and you can't ignore it. So if you learn about, people hear about Bitcoin, then they want to dig deeper. Oh, there's other coins, and they kind of go down the rabbit hole. See, Brandon says, hey, what you know about Thorncoin? Brandon, I actually don't know much about Thorncoin. I'll have to check that out. Let me go ahead and look it up real quick. Let's see, Thorncoin and Thorncoin ICO. Okay, I think this one was the one that the Trayvon guy was talking about. I'm not too sure about Thorncoin. I'll have to check it out and do some research on that. But I have heard some people talking about that, so I'll definitely check it out. Let's see. Marcos says Blockchain Week on London, January 19th through the 26th. So that's going to be good, Marcos. Like I said, more publicity for those conferences. And then Furzat says VTC, so Vertcoin. Furzat, I know that Crypto Hedge, shout out to Crypto Hedge, he is bullish on Vertcoin. I think right now he was mentioning there may be more of a retracement. But he is mining Vertcoin and he's really bullish on it. So it did have a nice little run up. When it did run up, I believe it was from $1 to over $8, $9. So I'm not personally holding any, but again, I know that he's very bullish on it. So that could be a coin to keep in mind. And then Brandon said 9 million coin. Brandon, I haven't heard about 9 million coin, so I'll have to look that up as well. Marcos says the Bitcoin, ETH, and Blockchain Super Conference on Dallas, USA, February 16th through the 18th. So that's really good, Marcos. Some more exposure for cryptocurrencies. So Dallas is a huge city too. I'm not too far from there. So that's going to be great. I may actually go to that one. Thanks for bringing that up. And then Marcos says Block Delhi, India, February 20th to 21st. And then David says, I get that, but it's creating work entities and control groups. And that was the whole point of it going, is to not be controlled by anything. So yeah, David, you make a point. I think what everyone is going through right now is eventually for some of these cryptocurrencies to get adopted, legalization will have to, there will have to be some form of centralization. I don't know how much, but I know that, not really too many people want to ban cryptocurrencies. They just want to regulate it. So whether that's good or bad, that'll create more mass adoption, and hopefully it doesn't get too far into that, but we'll just have to see right now. It's anyone's guess. And then Dean said Bitcoin to the moon. That's right, Dean. Bitcoin's still going up, 12,437 right now. And this is on Bittrex, by the way. Let's see, Marcos, Blockchain Africa Conference, March 8th and 9th, 2018. So that's good. Esom says PLR. PLR I'm not too familiar with. Let me check that. Let's see, PLR coin. And that's $1.04, rank 117. It's let's see, circulating 227 million, totals 800 million. I'm not familiar with Pillar, so I'll have to look at that one as well, but it seems like it had a nice little run up the past month, so it could be one to keep an eye on. Marcos said blockchain and Bitcoin conference, Tallinn, March 22nd. That's good. And then Sky City, what coins out there today have the ability to take processing with speeds competitive to Visa? So that's a good point you mentioned there, Sky City. I want to say, okay, so I know Ripple is used in banks, and you know its transaction speeds are fast, but as far as coins that specifically look at Visa, I would have to check on that to double check. I'm trying to think what coins, you know, have that fast transaction times and are used for that purpose. I cannot think of them right now, but I do know, you know, Ripple has its fast transaction times, but again, that's used mostly by banks. But as far as others, I'll have to check that out. Actually, I'll have to study up on that. Marcos says WBF Investments and ICO Dubai, UAE, March 2018. And then Kurt, Thorncoin is a lending platform. Okay. So Kurt, is Thorncoin like is Thorncoin, is that like BitConnect? Do you mean for lending platforms? And then Brandon says Thorncoin only has 9 million coins. So so if Thorncoin is like BitConnect, like as you know, I'm completely against BitConnect or anything related to you know, like lending platforms. They're very risky, and personally, I mean, they're high risk, high reward, but I personally just like to focus on trading, because anything dealing with, you know, I guess Ponzi schemes, if you will, is while you can make a lot of money, you can also lose a lot of money. So it's kind of if you're willing to take that risk or not. And then Farzat says bought PLR at 19, sold at $1.30. Wallet coming out mid-February, price will go up till then. Hey Farzat, appreciate that, man. I'll definitely keep Pillar in the in my cross check. And Marcos says, oh hell no. Okay, Kurt, yes, and Davor. Okay, then yeah, I think Thorncoin was the one that that Trayvon guy was promoting. I personally, like I said, I like to stay out of those just because they're so risky, and I don't recommend you know, any of the people watching my channel to get into any of those. But again, it's all preference, and I know some people like to do it, but it's just too risky for me personally. And Esom says lane platforms are a no-go after BitConnect fiasco. And then Kurt says you can also stake in Thorncoin. So yeah, so I guess everyone, you know, I guess have their own opinion on Thorncoin, and hey, it could be good, but again, you know, I'd recommend staying out of those just to be on the safe side. Let's see. So it looks like Bitcoin is up above 12,500 again, so that's good. Sitting at 12,511, 12,512. So it looks like the buying and selling orders, they're about equal right now. Looking at them here, and just for fun, let's go ahead and draw some support resistance lines. So we can see right here at about 11,700, we did have this resistance, and once it broke out of that, then we pretty much took off. So we can see almost hit this, you know, double top here, but we can see from there, I mean, really, if we draw this trend line out, even over here, you know, this 12,700 was pretty much a resistance point almost across the board. So it's good to see it finally broke out of that, and hopefully we do see this trend continue here. But so this has become the support. So if we do fall down, we need to keep this 11,700 level. And possibly this right here, 12,300, could be seen as, you know, short-term support if we do decide to bounce off of that. So that's just something to keep in mind. The RSI is still looking a little, you know, still looking overbought. But again, I mean, it looks like it's been consolidating, kind of averaging down a little bit. So maybe if it can go down just a little bit more, give it some more room to run, and we'll break over this $12,700 level. Let's see. He said, Kurt said Thorncoin sold first batch today in 1 second. That's pretty good. Brandon said, I'm staking. I got 102 coins. That's pretty good then. Yeah, well, it looks like there's a lot of support for that Thorncoin. Again, everyone always, do your own research. Yeah, I guess read up on it and decide if you want to do it. But I'm always iffy about the lending platforms, but they do have good potential if you get in early and you're confident about it. So just be careful with those. Again, I don't invest in any of them. Let's see. Other than that, okay. If anyone else has any other questions, Esam says Tau, T-A-W. Let's see, Lambden. So Tau right now, it's 142 million circulating supply, 288 million total supply. Rank 209, it's 57 cents, down 18%. So let's zoom out. And it looks like it was just released January 8th? It was just released and about 56 cents. And right now it's about at its ICO price, it looks like. So that one, just looking at this, I would not get in it. Usually what I like to do is I'll look at coins that, one, their market supply is low. So, preferably around 100 million. But I'll look at how they pair with Bitcoin. So like if Bitcoin's rising and they're rising as well, that's good. But when all the altcoins are falling, or for example, when Bitcoin's falling and you have, some altcoins that are holding up, that's even better. So I look for altcoins that are performing well when Bitcoin's rising or falling, because it usually determines that they'll do even better, when it starts rising. So for example, like Ethereum, I know when Bitcoin is falling, Ethereum was holding its own and even gaining for a while everything else was falling. So that's what I like to look for. Some of these are safer plays like Ethereum, Litecoin. But again, always remember to hedge your portfolio. So never hold 100% of your investment in one coin. Always spread it out. Maybe have like 30% in Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, 30% Litecoin. Just spread it out so you're not overly committed, because that's when people get scared, is they overly commit. And if the price swings 10%, they panic sell. So if you're spread out, then you don't have as much money into each investment. So it makes it easier to hold through those downturns. So just a little advice there. But again, not investment advice, just my opinion. Let's see. Marcos says, please, please, please be careful with people on Telegram asking you for them to manage your BTC. They give free coin signals, follow them, but never give them your keys to your BTC. Yeah, Marcos, that's a good point. So, yeah, anyone in Telegram that's asking, like to manage your portfolio or something, and they're not reputable, definitely do not do that. I know also there was there's a scam going on I saw with the Ledger wallet, the Ledger Nano S. I know recently they had an update where they were, I think they were being implemented with this Radar app where you could basically transfer Ledger coins from wallet to wallet offline. So the thing with Ledger Nano S, I know that if you buy them on like a third-party website, there was someone who got hacked because the person, I think, reset. The person had like their backup password, and whenever they sold it to the person, that new person put coins on it, and then that other person reset the password and stole all those coins. So if you're buying like hardware wallets or cold storage, always buy that from the actual seller, never like third parties, because you never know if people try to hack them before they sell them to you or anything like that. So always buy from the seller. And I know that for the Ledger wallet, they are backed up, I believe, until March 23rd is when they're going to start shipping them out. But again, I always recommend having something to keep your coins in, like off an exchange, just for safer storage and to prevent yourself from hacks and such. But I do know that the Legolas Exchange that ICO was mentioning, their exchange is actually going to have a lot of security measures. That's going to be better than any exchange that we have right now. And then ESOM Funfair. So Funfair was one that a lot of people were talking about a couple weeks ago. We can see it had this huge run up from 3 cents all the way up to a high of 18 cents. There was a lot of talk about it. Now, I haven't been following it too much, and today it's gone down about 1%. just from the action it's had recently, I don't know if I would invest in it. I mean, today, it's gone down from its high of 13 cents and it's sitting about 12. For me, it's just right now the total supply is 10 billion. So again, and it's 4 billion right now. So that's too much for me personally. Because if you look, just think of it this way. So right now it's ranked 63. So realistically, it can maybe, double, triple, maybe quadruple from here. But, you look at coins that have an even lower rank. For example, you look at coins down here, even, towards the bottom here that get like Substratum or some of those, and they can actually have, a higher chance of multiple growth. But I mean, that's just for coins that aren't that popular, for example. So Funfair, I mean, it's ranked 63. Unless they have some projects coming up or a lot of stuff going on, I haven't heard too much about it on Twitter or anything. So I just be careful investing in that. But again, if there's some big news coming up, then it could be a good investment. So let's see. Marco says they could take off with your moolah, and then Mr. Hurlis says, yeah, only buy official products, people. Even the Salt Nano they sent holders, I still opened it up to check that it wasn't messed with. That's definitely good advice. Yeah, always double check anything you're buying from a third party or a something like eBay or something. But always recommend buying it straight from the retailer. And then Furzat says Bitcoin Cash pump coming soon? ? So Bitcoin Cash pump. While we're talking about that, Bitcoin's actually $12,635, so it's going to test this $12,700 level again. If it breaks this, we could see a big rise from here. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, and we will definitely see if it does this. And my phone's ringing, so let me answer that real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so what I was saying basically is, so about Bitcoin Cash, if that's gonna have another rise, I don't really like Bitcoin Cash, I'll be honest. I think there's too much manipulation with it. I mean, Roger Ver's on it. Couple of people that, I mean, a lot of manipulation is all I'll say. But yeah, I don't really like it. So it's more of a risky play. They have like random pumps with Bitcoin Cash. It could be a good hedge, if you hold like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Because I know a lot of times these have an inverse relationship. If one goes up, the other goes down. But yeah, I mean, I guess as Bitcoin rises, since Bitcoin Cash does have Bitcoin in the name, it could, theoretically rise with it and have a good rally. But right now, I'm not holding any, so it's up to you. But yeah, there is just a lot of manipulation in that. That's why I try to stay out of it. Let's see. ESOM says XLM, so Stellar. Stellar's another one. So if you're thinking about investing in XLM, I would look at Ripple. So right now, Ripple's kind of not really doing too much, $1.59. But what I've noticed is when Ripple rises, Stellar is usually not far behind. And Stellar usually rises a lot when Ripple rises. So I would look to see when Ripple has the next rally and then maybe pick up, half Ripple, half Stellar and get a little bit of gains on both. Because I've definitely noticed that trend with them. Let's see. Quick Draw says, what about NAV? Any thoughts? So NAV, I'm pretty bullish on NAV. I know there's a couple guys that I talked to that have been bullish on it for a while. And they have had a lot of things, that they've been doing. They have released a good roadmap. They've been really building some great technology that they've been involved with. And looking at their 7-day chart, I mean, it doesn't look the best. But again, most of these coins were falling, and then 227, they bounced back, and they're already at 334. So that's over, that's about a 50% rise from the 17th. So from 3 days ago, 50% rise. So it's been on par with other coins that have altcoins that have risen the same amount. I'm pretty bullish on NAV. So I'd recommend maybe throwing a little in there because right now, actually let's go back to it. Looking at that the supply it has. Again, circulating supply is 62 million. So that's very low. It's still rank 125, so there's still a lot of room for it to grow. So it could, 10 times from here. But again, invest at your own risk. But NAV is definitely out of the smaller cap coins and stuff and lower ranked coins. NAV is definitely one of the more bullish ones versus other ones. Marco says, keep your eyes on NEO. I keep hearing people from YouTube and Bitcoin events talking about NEO. Looks like it's going to pop soon. I wished I bought some when it was $33, but oh well, good luck. So yeah, Marcos, NEO is a really good coin actually. It's had that crazy rise past $100 and up to $144, and I think it went up to $180 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, NEO is a very bullish one. For those who don't know, NEO is like the Ethereum of China. So a lot of ICOs use the NEO blockchain. I know Deep Brain Chain was released on the NEO blockchain, and then we also have I'm trying to think, there's some other good ICOs that were on the NEO blockchain. So NEO is definitely one to keep in mind. I'm sure we could see another run up. I know a lot of people are calling for 500, or I want to say $250 by the end of the year, but that was more conservative. Excuse me. I've seen others around 500, so that's definitely one to keep an eye on. And then Quick Draw said, got some NEO at $14, wish I had more. Oh, I bet. I know some coins that I got pretty cheap and I sold them way too early. So, or I just didn't buy enough of them. And then Esom says EOS. So, EOS, that one I'm kind of indifferent about. I know, a lot of people were really bullish on it when it was about $1.50 and then going past that. It's at $12.98 right now. EOS is pretty good with the technology that they have, but just for me, I mean, I just hate all the coins that they do have right now. Circulating supply 615 million, total supply 900 million. I do know that I believe they have a 5% token supply inflation, and then after that they keep going. But that's yearly. But it's kind of one of those that I could go either way about it. I'm neither for it or against it. I mean, it's had good growth, though. I will say that it has grown a lot, so it could come up to new highs. I mean, it's up 22% today, so definitely one to keep an eye on. And Quick Draw, no problem. Marcos says ETH was 155 last August. That could be the case of NEO. Yeah, Marcos, you have a great point. So NEO, could have a lot of growth. Again, there's more and more people tweeting about this. And actually, speaking of NEO, let me go ahead and see. And for those who don't know, I also have a Twitter account. It's at @CryptoData. So if you follow that, I'm always trying to post like when I go live and then other updates. But so Charlie Lee, actually, he's the creator of Litecoin, and he actually tweeted about NEO. So 13 hours ago, he tweeted this. He said, "There's a guy trying to catch up to us. We've been dropping turtles and bananas, but he's just been dodging them using bullet time. That's just unfair." So I think he's referring to NEO. And, like if you look at NEO and Litecoin, I mean, NEO's at $144, and then you have Litecoin over here at $205. So again, NEO's been catching up to it, and I'm sure we'll definitely, it will catch up to it very soon. So, like I said, it's the Ethereum of China, so we could see it at $1,000, in a year or something. So, keep that in mind, and anything's possible. And then let's actually look at Bitcoin. So it looks like Bitcoin did go up to a high of 12,650, and then it retraced again at 12,557. So again, we do have this resistance at 12,700. So that is something to keep in mind. Until we break this, it looks like we're just kind of consolidating here. And then we may have, further retracement from this RSI being still overbought. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And with that, if no one has any more questions, then I think I'm going to sign off. I just wanted to come on here and since I saw this rise, I figured no one else was talking about this, so I wanted to come on live and just go over that with y'all and kind of, reflect over what's been going on in cryptocurrency. So it's crazy to see, but, it's good to see that we're having this bounce because congratulations to all those people that held through it. I know it wasn't easy, but you know, if you know the fundamentals and you know, not to fall into the FUD, just like the China FUD and, you know, South Korea FUD and all that, that's just market cycles. So we have periods of high growth and periods of low growth. And this was just, you know, retracement from the highs we had in December, and then a lot of news articles coming out at once. And like I said, that perfect storm that just caused us to fall and, you know, fall from these highs here. So it's good to see again, we're on the uptrend again. And yeah, let's keep an eye on this $12,700 level. Like I said, if it breaks this, then, you know, we could see some new highs here. So with that, I really appreciate all of y'all watching, and thanks for the support. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. So once I get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a random Bitcoin Litecoin giveaway to $50 worth to 2 random subscribers who comment on my latest giveaway video, which is pinned on my homepage, with something funny in their Bitcoin or Litecoin address. So I'll probably be making that video Sunday. I'm assuming that's when I'll hit 2,000. But again, you know, thanks for all the support and stuff, and we're just going to keep growing this crypto family more and more. So like the video, please like it, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, see y'all later.